Hey everybody, Darren Cross here. I wanted to send you an announcement about the 1-2 blog assignment that you all turned in last week's module. Um, in general, I've looked at all of the blogs. I haven't graded them all. In general, though, they fall into one of three categories. Number one, the blog did not launch properly. Number two, you actually everything launched properly and I was able to read your blog, but your product is not innovative. Or number three, everything is good to go. What I did in the first two categories is I actually gave you a temporary 0 and I sent it back to you. I want to give you a chance to, well, if you didn't launch it, I wanted to let you know that it needed to be launched. I actually, in week 1, I actually had a video that says launching your blog, information about launching your blog or something like that. Follow that information, use those videos. Whenever people have had problems, they look at that video and I think that we've worked out the problems. Also, in Mod 1, I talked about how to address this problem. A significant portion of you all actually didn't nail it on this first assignment, so I wanted to give you an opportunity to go back. I think that what you're doing is you're thinking of this as, what kind of a product can I put out? That's not what we're doing. The idea behind this entire class is about innovation. It's not about what can I do that nobody else is doing. What it's about is what can I do that changes the game on how this entire industry works, okay? It's not just about doing something that other companies aren't doing or doing something that you think you can be successful at. It's about saying, I'm looking at this thing, how can I flip it, turn it upside down, and make it and change the way that everybody even looks at this industry. Now, I know that's a tall order, so it doesn't have to be very, very dramatic, but I want you to at least address that. So the types of things that I'm seeing that you guys are putting out that might be successful ventures, but it's not really what we're after, are things like different flavors of anything. I'm telling you, if you are doing a flavor of something or something that somebody can consume, it's probably not innovative because other people can try to duplicate that flavor, or maybe your company just has that flavor of something and another company has another flavor of something and people prefer the other company. Different types of food menu items or things like that, or new services that a company is going to offer inside of their service. So, you know, if it's a tire change service or something like that, I don't want to call anybody out specifically, but this isn't about what can we do that's a new product or service. This is about what new product or service can we put out that's innovative. And what does innovative mean? It means that it changes, when you look at it from a blue ocean strategy point of view, it means that it renders your competition irrelevant. It makes other people say, wow, we don't even know how to compete with that because we weren't even thinking about that. Now, again, I know that that's a tall order. We're talking about what Apple did to cell phones, what Uber did to cabs, what Amazon did to retail. It doesn't have to be that dramatic. In general, what I want you to think about is what kind of app or technology can we put into place that kind of changes the way everybody in this industry is actually looking at it. The customers, the competition, banks, everyone, okay? So I want you to dig in and I want you to kind of, if you got one of those temporary zeros that actually says something like, I don't think your product is innovative, the best approach is actually to try to use that company, but try to think about how you might be able to infuse some innovation into something with that company. If you want to brainstorm this, you and I can brainstorm it. Just let me know. Message me, let me know, and I'll set up a time that we can actually brainstorm. I've done this with a couple of people. It'll take 5 or 10 minutes, and we can kind of go through until you're happy with something that kind of represents what you were after, and then we can get it going. Another thing that I want to tell you, and you're going to hear this theme throughout the entire course, put headings on all of your assignments. Put the heading from the prompt on all of your assignments. Here's why. When I'm looking at just the page of nothing but words, It's up to me to try to find what you intend as the thing that's answering the element of the prompt. Sometimes it's easy. Most of the time, it actually isn't easy, because if you don't have a heading, most of the time you're falling way off the grid. You're way off focus. The idea behind putting those headings on there is it lets you know, okay, this is the thing that we're actually going to talk about. And then look at those elements of the prompt. Stay very focused on those elements of the prompt. That's really what I'm after. I'm not looking for you to be super flowery with your wording. I'm not asking for you to be wordy. I want you to hit the prompts. I actually don't want you to pay attention to the page requirements. I don't want you to think this is supposed to be 3 pages, so I need to add some stuff in. I want you to be super laser focused on the elements of the prompt. That's what we're after. And if you put those headings up there, it actually helps you to stay focused. The other thing is, if I'm looking at words that are sometimes, I've had conversations with people where they're like, well, I was answering that part with these words and it really kind of wasn't. I will actually give you the benefit of the doubt if I see that it's under the heading that kind of addresses that. So I will give you the benefit of the doubt if it seems like, okay, I can see the point that they were trying to make. But if there's no headings, I have no idea what you intended by the words that you put, if it's confusing sometimes, okay? So go back, look at those blog assignments. If you're working on the assignment for Module 2, stop. Make sure you get that blog assignment. I really would rather you make sure that you understand how I'm going to be grading your stuff before you actually get to the next assignment and before you start to build on that stuff. So here's the deal. What I'm going to do is I'm asking you all to get things in by tomorrow, Wednesday night at the latest. And it's not going to take, I don't think anybody has to just start fresh. Go on and revamp your blog and get that in by the end of tomorrow so that I can get everything. I want to have everything graded by Friday so that you can actually look at things and you know what you're supposed to be doing. But the sooner you get it in, the sooner you're going to be graded. Now, there are some of you who your blog is fine, but some of you I have grades on already, and there's a small handful of you all that you don't have a temp 0. That means that I thought your blog was fine, good enough, so I am going to be grading it. So my goal is to actually have that graded tonight, maybe tomorrow by midday. But I want you all to get your assignments resubmitted so that I can get back on grading them. I'm going to be grading all night tomorrow night, so I really just want to make progress with those so that you can be ready to roll, okay? So if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. You can email. I'm not always looking at my email. You can message in Brightspace. I'm not always looking at Brightspace. If you want to make sure that you're getting a message to me, by all means, text me. You are not bothering me. There is no such thing as weekends in my life. Time is just time to me. So if I'm available, I'll get right back to you. If I'm not available right then you haven't disturbed me. And if it requires a longer conversation, then we'll set up a time that we can talk, okay? Now, I do feel a sense of urgency. I'm traveling out of town this weekend. I'm going to be heavily involved in a wedding this weekend out of town. So I just want to make sure that you all get the assignments before the weekend starts so that I can make some significant progress. But again, you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Good luck, everyone.